A hush fell over the crowded street. All eyes turned toward the imposing figure standing before them. Even the wind seemed to hold its breath. This wasn't just any man. This was a giant, a mythical being known throughout the land as Grog Stronghammer, a blacksmith who forged weapons for gods. His presence radiated power, commanding respect and awe. But today, he wasn't here to intimidate. Today, he was here to share a story, a tale from his youth that had haunted him for centuries. He began his story with a sigh. "I was once like you," he rumbled, his voice echoing like distant thunder. "Full of ambition, eager to prove myself." The crowd leaned closer, their faces reflecting the flickering light from the torches held by the villagers. Young and old, they were captivated by the giant's every word. Grogu's tale took them back in time, to a day much like this one, filled with sunshine and the buzz of activity. Back then, Grogu wasn't known as Stronghammer. He was simply Grog, a young apprentice eager to learn the secrets of his trade. Under the watchful eye of his master, a grizzled dwarf with a long white beard, he worked with metals, hammering and shaping them into tools and weapons. It was during one of these ordinary days that everything changed. "Our forge was alive with activity," Grog continued, his massive hands working the metal as if it were clay. "We were preparing for the annual festival, making sure the town's weapons were in top condition. Suddenly, the mayor burst through the doors, his face pale as snow. "Grog," he gasped, "you must help me. An evil wizard has come to the town. He threatens to destroy us unless we hand over our finest weapon, the Frost Fang, an axe capable of shattering ice and stone." The weight of the town's fate fell onto Grogu's shoulders. He looked at his master, whose face was grim but resolute. "It is our duty to protect our people," the old dwarf said, placing a hand on Grogu's shoulder. "Go, Grogu, prove yourself worthy of the Stronghammer name." With trembling hands, Grog retrieved the Frost Fang. Its handle was carved with runes that glowed faintly, and its blade was as sharp as winter's bite. As he walked out of the forge, the townspeople watched him with hope and fear in their eyes. Their safety, their very survival, rested on the shoulders of this young apprentice. Gorgug's tale unfolded like a battle-hardened scroll, each page filled with peril and valor. He described how he had journeyed to the outskirts of town, where the evil wizard had made his lair, how he had faced down trolls and ogres, each encounter testing his strength and courage, and all the while the giant's massive frame seemed to grow larger, casting an imposing shadow over the audience. But it was what happened next that truly captivated the crowd, because the final battle wasn't against a monster or a beast, it was against fear itself. Grog had reached the wizard's lair, a dark and menacing cave that reeked of decay and evil. The wizard was waiting for him, his eyes blazing with malevolent energy. "Hand over the Frost Fang," the wizard demanded, his voice like nails on a chalkboard, "or watch your town burn." Fear threatened to consume Grog. His hands trembled and his legs shook. But then he remembered the faces of the townspeople, their hopes, their trust in him. And in that moment, he made a decision. He refused to let fear control him. Instead, he channeled it, turning his terror into power. With a roar that shook the very foundations of the cave, he charged. The battle that followed was epic. Grog wielded the Frost Fang with newfound strength, each swing sending shards of ice flying. The wizard countered with spells that crackled with dark energy. The cave echoed with the clash of magic and steel. But as the fight raged, Grog discovered something within himself, a reservoir of strength he never knew he possessed. And it wasn't just physical, it was mental, emotional, spiritual. He realized that the true source of his power wasn't the Frost Fang, but himself. Finally, with a mighty swing, Grog shattered the wizard's staff, the source of his dark magic. The wizard, weakened and defeated, fled into the darkness. Grog had won, but the victory was bittersweet. He had proven himself, but at what cost? The battle had taken a toll on him, and he returned to town a changed individual. That's when his master, the old dwarf, stepped forward. He placed a hand on Grog's shoulder, his eyes filled with pride. "From this day forth," he said, "you shall be known as Grog Stronghammer. You have shown not just strength, but wisdom and courage. You have faced your fears and emerged victorious, and that, my young friend, is what makes you a true hero." And as the last embers of the bonfire died down, Grog Stronghammer concluded his tale. His voice, though deep and resonant, was now softer, tinged with the wisdom of ages. He had shared not just a story, but a life lesson, showing them that true strength lay not in size or brute force, but in the courage to face one's fears. The crowd was silent for a moment, digesting the giant's words. Then a young boy no older than 10, with stars shining in his eyes, stepped forward. "Mr. Stronghammer," he asked, "can I be brave like you?" A wide grin spread across the giant's face. "Of course you can," he boomed, his voice echoing with kindness. "Being brave isn't about size, little one. It's about what's inside. It's about facing your fears and doing what's right. And you, my young friend, have the makings of a true hero." As the night deepened, the villagers slowly dispersed, each lost in thought, pondering the lessons of bravery and resilience. The memory of Grog Stronghammer's tale resonated within them, reminding them that true strength lay not in their physical prowess, but in the courage of their hearts. Meanwhile, Grog Stronghammer watched them go, a wistful look on his massive face. He, too, had once been just a young apprentice, full of hopes and dreams. And now here he was, a legendary hero, his tale inspiring awe and admiration. But for Grog, the greatest satisfaction wasn't in the legends or the fame. It was in the quiet moments, knowing that his story might just inspire someone, somewhere to be a little braver, a little stronger, to face their fears and forge their own path in life. In the days that followed, the villagers carried on with their lives. Yet something had shifted. A new sense of camaraderie bound them together, a shared resolve to face whatever challenges lay ahead with courage and determination. They had listened to the tale of Grog Stronghammer, the giant who wasn't just strong, but brave, compassionate, and wise. And in their hearts they knew that they too could summon inner strength when the need arose. Now, years after that fateful night, whenever the winds of change blew across the town, or when shadows threatened their peaceful lives, they remembered the story of the giant with the heart of a hero. And they drew strength from it, knowing that they, like Grog, possessed an inner wellspring of courage and resilience. As for Grog Stronghammer, he continued to live among the humans, sharing his vast knowledge and strength, guiding the younger generation and making sure the legend of the boy who became a hero would live on, reminding everyone that true strength lay not in size, but in the boundless capacity of the human spirit to overcome any challenge. So if ever you find yourself amidst the whispering trees of Willow Creek, and if the wind carries the tale of a giant with a heart of gold, remember the story of Grog Stronghammer, the boy who became a hero, and draw strength from his timeless tale. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.